Again, welcome to End Your Day Stronger. You may be beginning the day, but I do want you to be stronger. To be stronger, that's going to come from your thinking, how you approach, how you evaluate. And in this scripture that we visited last night, the key verse I wanted to focus on was verse 15, where it says, "See, I set before you today life and prosperity, death and destruction." God's into your choice. He has made choices clear. His way is not the easy way. His way is going to be unfamiliar thinking. Faith is never comfortable to our thinking. It never says, well, this is the most logical thing that I can do. No, it just means that it's going to take me in a territory that I just going to step out of full control and trust God. That's unfamiliar territory. And the thinking that goes with that is unfamiliar. They see that word prosperous in there? Prosperity. Key word. He doesn't mean that just in money. He means just in everything. Today, life and prosperity. He's saying, I'm going to give you the two things that everybody wants. Life and prosperity. I'm setting that choice right there before you. Or you can choose death and destruction. Our problems come when we don't understand this word prosperity. God is saying for you to be prosperous, you do not have everything in you right now for that to happen. Your thinking is going to have to be coached and brought along. Just before this, he's talking about the word is near you. It's right there. It's not far away in heaven somewhere. It's sitting right there on your tongue. It's in your heart. He's saying, I have the ability to instill this into you. So prosperity is when we are willing to go with God and his thinking. And when you go with God and his thinking, let's just take an example. In a relationship to start with. If you go with God's thinking in that, well, you're going to be all of a sudden thinking about serving one another because this is God's thinking. It's unfamiliar. We think of being served. That's our natural bent. It's just the way that it goes. We think in terms of holding things and holding people to penalties and upholding our own forms of justice. And God is saying, no, you need to let that kind of stuff go because you see, that's what you require in equal or greater amounts than the person you want to hold. I mean, all along the way, God's thinking is going to go upstream in this. God's thinking is going to go against the grain of how you feel about something. You know, it's not an easy thing to think unfamiliar. It's not easy for us to think in the terms of God's nugget truths where Jesus is saying, you know, your life is not your own. You're bought with a price. You're his. We don't normally think like servants. We don't normally think in terms like this. Yet it's through that unfamiliar thinking that you find prosperity. Your relationship, if it's kind of like got some death and destruction going on, it's too familiar probably. Everything's familiar. I know what she's going to say. I know what he's going to say. I know what our problems are. We're never going to get over this. And it's just all the same. And every day is the same. And da-da-da-da. And we're never going to get beyond this. What you're saying is we're so familiar with all the wrong things. And our thinking is trapped in that familiar cycle. It's thinking unfamiliar that it says, we are in a trap. I'm not denying the reality. We're in a trap. What's our way out? Not the way we have been thinking. So what unfamiliar thinking has to be applied in your life? It's going to produce discomfort. It's not going to be comfortable for you. It's going to cause you to have to actually really rethink how you have conducted yourself, what you said, what you do in this relationship. But I promise you that it will bring life and prosperity if you're willing to actually think the unfamiliar and not seek out your own comfort, not seek out your own protection behind your own tight boundaries, not seek out your own controls. All of those things we support with familiar thinking. I got hurt once. I want control now. You are giving up the best that God could bring because you are choosing safety and security over life and prosperity. And your safety and security is like a death sentence on things. They will just continue to die. There's no life to be found in them. And so I challenge you on this day to say, as we go into the Choose Life campaign, come with a fresh, open ears and heart to say, I need to get some new thinking, unfamiliar thinking. I need to break the ruts, which always end up at the very same place. You can do it. It's a choice. See you Sunday.